Hello everybody, this is me Johan here. Is the Redmi Note 6 Pro a significant upgrade over the Redmi Note 5 Pro? This is my full review of the Redmi Note 6 Pro. Alright, regarding the screen on this phone comes with a 1080p screen with an aspect ratio of 19:9 and a pixel density of about 403 ppi. And this time around they've gone ahead and put a notch, as you guys can see for yourself. Not a problem, it can be hidden if you want to. Alright, to give you guys an understanding of the quality of display this phone has, I'll just play a video clip for you guys right now. Alright, this clip is being played at 1080p and I've set the phone's brightness to 100%. By the way, this phone comes with a 6.3 inch screen. And regarding the color, viewing angles and everything, I'm really satisfied with the quality of display Xiaomi have decided to go ahead and put on this phone. It's not the best display in its class, but it is amongst the best in its class. I would rate this maybe the third or fourth best display in its class. It's overall a satisfactory experience and I would rate it 7.5 out of 10. Regarding the performance and the RAM management of this phone, as you guys know, this phone comes with a Snapdragon 636 octa-core processor with the Adreno 509 GPU embedded inside. And the version I have with me has 4 gigs of RAM inside. As far as performance and RAM management went, I have to give this phone a thumbs up. Keep in mind one thing, this is not the most powerful phone available in its class by no means, but it does the job, or rather gets the job done very smoothly and very efficiently. And as far as gaming was concerned, I played PUBG at balanced graphics settings and the frame rate was set at medium. You cannot go beyond that. It played the game well. I did not face any performance hiccups or anything like that. It played and game very smoothly without any issues whatsoever. Yet again, this is no Honor 8X in terms of its performance, but the performance and RAM management for the most part was satisfactory. And just regarding the RAM management, I've realized one thing. If you constantly use say 7-8 apps at a time, and if those apps are not very high intensive apps, I've realized one thing, it tends to keep the apps in memory. But if you just leave the apps like that running in the background, and when you come back and try to open it, I've realized that it tends to reload everything. I'll just showcase it to you guys now. Just have a look at this. This is PUBG. You can see for yourself. It has reloaded the game. And not only that, I'll just go back and show you a few more things. That was just PUBG over there. And this is, yeah, I'll just go to the Instagram. It's reloaded Instagram as well. See, like this is exactly what I was trying to say. If you tend to keep it running in the background for a while, for say like 20-25 minutes, it tends to reload most of the apps. But apart from that, if you're using the phone quite regularly, you're not going to face any sort of issues like that. Performance and RAM management on this phone is a thumbs up overall. Alright, as far as Antutu benchmarks are concerned, this phone scores a reasonably high 1,13,408 points, which is on par with most of the Snapdragon 636 octa-core processor devices in the market right now. As far as call quality and reception on this phone was concerned, I faced no issues whatsoever. At the same time, I gotta just say one thing, this is no Motorola in terms of its call quality and reception, but apart from that, I have to say one thing. I was mightily satisfied with the call quality and reception. I faced no issues whatsoever hearing what the other person on the other side was saying, or neither the other person on the other side. And on top of it, there were no signal drops or anything like that I faced. Call quality and reception on this phone, again, I have to give it a thumbs up. Regarding the quality of audio via speaker and headphones on this phone, this is an area where I thought Xiaomi might actually skimp on this phone. But to tell you the truth, I've been mightily impressed by the quality of output produced by the single fairing speaker on this phone. This is the speaker right over here. Alright, this clip is being played at full volume. You guys can take a listen to it. I mean, just listen to it. It's not only the volume, just check out the quality of the beats. I mean, this is seriously impressive. I mean, the speaker used on this phone, on the Redmi Note 6 Pro, is of a superior quality, and I'm telling you, you'll be hard pressed to tell that this is a budget phone in terms of the music quality that it produces via its single fairing speaker. I'm gonna go ahead and give this a massive thumbs up. If you're a music lover, you will really love listening to music on this phone via its speakers. Alright, regarding the software and security patch on this phone is running, as you guys can see, if it's a MIUI 10.0 on top of Android Oreo 8.1.0. And regarding the security patch, it is the 1st of October 2018. We're currently almost coming to the end of the month of November. As far as software and security patches are concerned, you guys do not need to worry too much because Xiaomi have been very regular and very consistent in this manner, and you all really do not need to worry much in this regard because I'm an owner of a Redmi Note 3 as well, and the software and security patch even on that phone was great for a long period of time. So Xiaomi have been doing a great job in this regard, and you guys do not need to worry about anything at all. Alright, regarding build quality on this phone, regarding the display is made up of Corning Gorilla Glass. This is what they say, but they've not really specified which version of it is. It is rather. And regarding its frame, the frame is primarily fully made up of plastic. And this portion over here, the back portion over here, is made up of a slab of metal. And over here you will find the volume rockers over here, and this is the power button. They feel tactile and well put together. And towards this side, you will find the SIM tray slot. Unfortunately, it's a hybrid SIM tray slot, meaning you can either use 2 SIMs at a time or use 1 SIM or a micro SD card. I have no idea why they went and skimped in this one department alone. And this is of course the area where you can put your headphone jack. And over here you find the single fairing speaker, and unfortunately again regarding the charging slot again is micro USB, which is a little bit of a letdown considering the fact that this phone is 13,000 INR, and you get the Type C on the Moto 1 Power, which just costs a little bit more than this. Apart from that, I have to say one thing: this phone is well constructed for its price, and the best part is it doesn't feel very heavy to hold in the hand. It's very light and very nimble to hold, and at the same time it's well put together. Build quality wise, I would give this a rating of about 7.5 out of 10. Alright, I'll just showcase to you all the quality, or rather the speed of the fingerprint scanner. And the fingerprint scanner is situated right at the back over here, by the way. Alright, tap, and it opens. Again, tap, open, tap, open. See, it's pretty instantaneous. And for the most part, I've been really satisfied with the quality of the fingerprint scanner used on this phone. It's not the fastest, but it's an extremely consistent fingerprint scanner. And now regarding the face unlock, I'll just showcase it to you guys. I'll just tap the power button. And yeah, it just opened like that. I'll tap the power button again. Yeah. Again, regarding the quality of the face unlock on this phone is also a very satisfactory experience. I face no issues whatsoever. The only thing is you need to tap this power button. Once you tap this power button and you place your face right in front of it, even from a decent distance right now, this is about 1.5 feet away, it easily detects the face. And to be honest, I've been satisfied with the face unlock on this phone as well. Face unlock as well as the fingerprint scanner on this phone have been a huge thumbs up, and I would rate them 8 out of 10. Regarding the battery on this phone, it does come with a humongous 4000 milliampere battery inside. And regarding its actual battery performance, I must say one thing: I have been satisfied regarding its battery performance. To be extremely precise with you guys, this is no Moto 1 Power or Infinix Note 5 in terms of its endurance. But I can guarantee you one thing: however you use this phone, it will give you all-day battery with no issues whatsoever. You guys can have a look at the battery stats I've achieved out of this phone. Alright, I've used the phone only on 4G today, and it's exactly 1 day of use. That's about 12 hours, and I've got about 20% of its battery left, and I've achieved a screen on time of 5 hours and 5 minutes. Alright, I used the phone only on Wi-Fi today, and after 14 hours and 24 minutes. I've achieved a screen on time of 5 hours and 8 minutes, and it's still got 30% of its battery left. Alright, I used the phone on 4G and Wi-Fi, a mixture of 4G and Wi-Fi, and the phone's battery has now come down to about 4%, and I've achieved exactly, as you guys can see, exactly 1 day of usage out of this, and I've achieved a screen on time of 5 hours and 28 minutes. Alright, the usage included very heavy usage, by the way. 1.5 hours of YouTube, 1.5 hours of playing PUBG and Asphalt 9, 1 hour and 30 minutes of voice calls, 45 minutes of Google Maps, and the remainder of it I use the usual social media apps like WhatsApp, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. So considering that, I feel the phone did a pretty decent job in lasting a whole day on both 4G and Wi-Fi. Alright, I'll be performing a phone idle drain test. The Wi-Fi was switched on and I've kept about 10 apps running in the background. The time is 12:35 a.m. and it's got 30% of its battery left, so I'll see you guys in the morning and let you guys know how much battery is drained overnight. Alright, after a little over 8 hours, the phone's lost exactly 5% of its charge. Alright, I'll be performing a phone idle drain test. The time's 12:20 a.m. in the morning. The phone's currently got 19% battery left. I've closed all the apps in the background and brought the phone's brightness to 0. So I'll see you guys in the morning and let you guys know how much battery is drained overnight. Alright, after being idle for a period of about 7.5 hours, the phone has just lost 1% of its charge. The provided charge on this phone outputs at 2 amps. In 30 minutes, the phone charges to 30%. In 1 hour, it charges to 65%. And it takes exactly 2 hours and 10 minutes for a full charge. Alright, regarding the camera on this phone, the primary sensor is a 12 megapixel sensor with an f1.9 aperture, and the secondary, the depth sensor, is 5 megapixel with an f2.2 aperture. And surprisingly, in the front, this time it comes with 2 selfie cams. The primary sensor is a 20 megapixel sensor with an f2.0 aperture, and the depth sensor is 2 megapixels with an f2.2 aperture. Regarding the cameras on this phone, regarding budget phones, you guys need to realize one thing. Companies mainly skimp in the camera department, but I'm really happy to report one thing. The reason why the Redmi Note 5 Pro became such a huge success was mainly due to its camera. And the Redmi Note 6 Pro continues this tradition with even more improved cameras. The camera on this phone has really impressed me, and it just might be the best camera in its segment. If you guys are in the habit of taking a lot of photographs, I think this phone might be the right phone for y'all to buy. I've been mightily impressed with both daytime and also to a certain degree nighttime photography on this phone as well. The only area where I feel these guys have skimmed is in terms of its video. Both the front and the back cams max out at 1080p 30 fps. I mean, keeping in mind there are phones in the same price category that can shoot at 4K. This is a minor mistake I feel they have made, but overall, do not get fooled by the 1080p because the quality of video produced on this phone is of top-notch quality. You guys can have a look at the many photos and a few video clips I've taken on this phone. Alright, this is video footage using the front-facing cam of the Redmi Note 6 Pro. It maxes out at 1080p 30 fps. You guys have a look and decide for yourself how good the stabilization on this front-facing cam is. So far so good. You guys be the judge of it anyways. Alright, I'm just going to run right now. Let's just see how stable it is. Alright, this is video footage using the rear cam of the Redmi Note 6 Pro. Even the rear cam maxes out at 1080p 30 fps. So, you guys can have a look at the footage and judge for yourselves. I mean, let me just check the focus on this. Let me focus on that flower. Wow, that is pretty instantaneous. Alright, let me just focus on those leaves now. Wow, this is pretty impressive. I mean, this focuses the fastest as of now. I mean, in its price category, I've not seen a phone that focuses as fast as this phone's camera does. So let's just check and see how stable it is. I'm going to run for a while. Halted. Alright, let me just check the focus one more time. Wow. This is seriously impressive. I would ideally like them to have put 4K inside, or as its maximum resolution, but it seems to be doing a great job even at 1080p, 30 FPS. Regarding the cons on this phone, I might have already mentioned a few cons, but this is just to highlight it to you guys. Micro USB on phones under 10K is acceptable, but phones that cost above 10K micro USB is not acceptable. These guys should have gone ahead and given Type-C this time around. I mean, just look at this phone. What does it look like? I mean, just look at it properly and see for yourself. The Redmi Note 5 Pro was a nearly iPhone 10 wannabe. It did not have the notch, and this time around they've gone ahead and put the notch. It looks like any one of those iPhone 10 wannabes out there. There's nothing significant in its looks. Performance-wise, everything on this phone ran very fast and very fluidly, and considering its price, I think it's one of the best performing phones in its price segment. But I'm just not a fan of MIUI, the skin used on top of Android Oreo. I'm just simply not a fan of this cluttered OS. And there's a lack of originality in everything. I mean, just look at this. To access the multitasking tray, long swipe up. That's taken from iOS, obviously. And look at this over here. This is completely copied, or rather ripped off, from BlackBerry. And getting into the app and then pushing it up like this is again taken from iOS. And even regarding the notifications tray, the rounded corners, this is taken from Android Pie 9.0. I mean, there's a complete lack of originality. These guys just take stuff from all the manufacturers and slap it on their skin. It's functional to a large degree, and it does a decent job, but it's not the best integration of anything. So I'm not a fan of this lack of originality. But for people who are already MIUI users, y'all might appreciate this, but for stock Android users, y'all might want to skip this. I have no idea why they decided to go and put a hybrid SIM tray inside this. I mean, for people who are in the habit of using two SIMs and a micro SD card at the same time, y'all will have to skip this phone for this one reason alone, as you can only use either two SIMs or a SIM and a micro SD card at the same time. Gaming wise, the performance of this phone was satisfactory overall. It played PUBG and Asphalt 9 with no performance hiccups. But keep in mind, phones like the Honor 8X and the Nokia 5.1 Plus do a much better job when it comes to gaming. Alright, I cranked this phone's display brightness all the way up to 100%, and believe me when I tell you this, guys, y'all need to crank this phone's display brightness all the way up to 100% under direct sunlight, as it does not have the brightest display out there. If you already own a Redmi Note 5 Pro, there is absolutely no need to upgrade to Redmi Note 6 Pro, as I just feel it's just a minor upgrade over the Redmi Note 5 Pro. But if you are extremely particular about buying a Mi phone and have a budget of anywhere around 10 to 15,000 rupees, this phone's got a good pair of cameras, it's got a good speaker, all-day battery life, and consistent performance. The 4GB RAM 64GB variant at 13K is a huge thumbs up from my side. So that's it for me today, guys. I hope you guys really liked the video. If you guys loved the video, I'd appreciate it if you guys could give me a thumbs up. And if you guys are interested in following me from here on, I would suggest y'all to go and hit subscribe to my channel, Living with Tech. And right after that, hit the notifications icon so that y'all get notified with the latest and greatest videos I'll be putting up on YouTube from here on. So as it is, as always, I wish all of you a tremendous day ahead of you. Ciao for now.